Here we go. I've been waiting for this one for quite some time. Ignore those tabs, as we've got a special stream that we don't usually do around here. We usually talk about real life sports, but today we're going to be theorizing about some, fake sports. We're going to do some armchair GM. We're going to do some Carolina Panthers off season. Just getting the YouTube short up now before we get going, as I'm excited for this one. I just did a dry run here. Our record was 6-11. So today we're going to hope that we have something a little better up our sleeves. So to start, of course, we're picking our Carolina Panthers, and we're getting right into it, as this should be a ton of fun. I can't wait to get into this. And we got to start with the off-season, the playoffs, as it is, of course, the Patriots, Broncos, Rams, and Seahawks. I think the Rams are going to beat the Patriots. And the Patriots beat the Rams. I was wrong. As we head into the offseason, we're going to start with some restructuring contracts, some re-signing players, and then signing free agents. We'll do a draft. We'll do a little bit of a simulation of the 2026 season. So here we are. We're going to start off with our restructures. And if you can't tell, this team is in dire need of this. Dan Morgan is going to be quite busy this summer, I should say winter, as $6 million in cap space is all we got before we do some restructurings. So we're going to restructure pretty much everyone available. That includes Derek Browns, Robert Hunt, J.C. Horn, all the big names that we need. Damian Lewis. Some fans are theorizing to cut Damian Lewis. No way. Same with Turk Wharton. I know it was a bad year for Turk Wharton, but we're going to give him another shot, and we're going to do all of these restructures. We're going to say Dan Morgan is a busy, busy man, and he's going to free up $70 million cap space. Now, that might be a lot, but we're going to play around with it, and I want this Panthers team to win a Super Bowl. If I was GM and I was spending every waking moment, that's giving me some glare. If I was spending every waking moment working on a team, you best believe I'm going to be talking to these players every single day. So, you know what? Why not? $70 million cap space, that's what we're working with here. As we go on, Rico Dowdle, not even going to try to re-sign you. You can walk. See ya. Goodbye. You were good for 2 weeks of the year. Call it 4. We're not going to be missing that much. Plus, I plan on drafting a running back later on. So we're going to leave all that. I would love to bring back a guy like David Moore, but he wants more than $1 million per year. If David Moore would take 1.25, then I'd be happy to have him back, and he will. So we'll take back David Moore. I like Bryson Tremaine personally, so we're going to take him back for $1 million per year. And then the big dog, Jalen Coker. I shouldn't do that. That's bad. As there's 4 years, and we're going to give him 3 per, and he's going to take it. I think that's a fair contract, giving him $12 million over 3 seasons for a guy that was an undrafted free agency. My cokeheads, rise up. One of my favorite players, definitely on the next jersey order. Moving on, James Mitchell. Don't care. I've seen this guy play in so many preseason games and was weirdly bright spot for Bryce Young's rookie year, but you can walk. I'm good. I plan on drafting a tight end. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Moving on here, Yash Nijman will not take $1 million, but because we have restructured, we could probably bring him in for 1.5, and we can. So that's who we're going to roll with. Of course, with the injury to Ike Okongwu, we're kind of screwed. We really need this guy to step up huge for us next year, as he's projected to be the starting left tackle, the blind side tackle for Bryce Young. It worries me. Jake Curhan won't take $1 million, which is it's rough because this is a guy that played some good football for us off the bench. We'll take 1.25. I want to keep Jake Curhan. The rest of the guys, Brady Christensen, we have to bring back. Of course, he's not going to take $1 million. You're going to see Alpha rejected a lot because I am cheap. We're going to hope that David Tepper isn't cheap. Please open up your pocketbooks for some of these guys. Brady Christensen, he wants a lot, and I don't blame him. I'm willing to open up the bank and give him $2 million a year. I fully think that's worth it. I really do. Moving on here, Austin Corbett. Y'all know how I feel about Austin Corbett. $2 million, I can do that. He's a great backup guard. And when we did have him in at right guard to replace Robert Hunt, which is that's a tall task, he did a pretty good job. That's all I'll say about that as the last guy, Cade Mays. You are all about to learn he wants to get paid. And I don't blame him. One of the better starting centers, I should say. When we play with him, we have a winning record. When we play with anyone else at center, we don't, to say the least. He's 26 years old, coming off his rookie contract. I've already gone through this once. $10 million. He scoffs at $10 million. But he will take 11. So there you go, $11 million for Cade Mays to be our starting center. I like that right there. I got Nolan texting me from, of course, the CollingsThodeNetwork. Now we move on to the defensive side of the ball. Trey Gibson put on great football for us down the stretch. Surprisingly so, as one of our edge rushers that kind of came out of nowhere. He's a guy I would love to bring back, especially if it's cheap, and 1.25, that's cheap. I will absolutely take that, but I very much so want to bring in a star edge rusher. We, of course, have $44 million in cap space. I'm not looking to spend too much more. As DJ Wonnum, I'm not bringing back. Thomas Incoom, I'm not bringing back. We're ridding us of some of the poisons of this edge room. Now, Isaiah Simmons, I would love to bring back $1 million. He would take that in real life. Let's be real with each other. This is a guy that was homeless. This is a guy that's sitting on the street begging for a job until we came through and gave him a job. He was not homeless. He has NFL money. He was doing plenty fine, but he didn't have a job with any team. And then we came through, gave him a job, and he played great. And so I want Isaiah Simmons back. Here are the big ones. Roseboom. I would like to see Roseboom back. I would rather him be more of a backup linebacker, but $2.5 million for Roseboom seems pretty good. And Shirelis, a guy that we signed from the practice squad for the Bengals. The fact he won't take $1 million in a 3-year-long contract, ridiculous to me. So you can go walk and not get any money in free agency. One of the last few guys that I want to bring back here is Rochelle. $1.25 million for a guy that played some good corner linebacker in the depth position for us. And that is going to do it here, as I don't really like Nick Scott. I don't really want to bring him back. If he will take this money, like, that's the thing. I don't want to take back Nick Scott. I don't want to give him $2 million. I want to go big on some other guys. So, Nick Scott, see you later. Same with Damani Richardson. I mean, if Damani will take $1 million, sure. But if he's going to take less, let's just revoke that contract real quick. If he is going to take less money, then let's try to give him less money. No, we'll have to give him that $1 million, which, yeah, I could live with. And then Sam Martin, I know, wants too much money. And J.J. Jensen, sorry, Panther fans, I'm not bringing him back for over $1 million. And he wants more than $1 million. So here we go. That's our re-signings that we are going to make. Damani Richardson, Bryson Tremaine, Robert Rochelle, Jake Curhan, Isaiah Simmons, Trey Gibson, David Moore, Josh Nijman, Brady Christensen, Austin Corbett, Christian Roseboom, Jalen Coker, and Cade Mays. There's a lot of names. Dan Morgan's going to be busy this offseason. So there we go. Heading into free agency. And there's a couple names that I want. This is, of course, sorted by first name alphabetically, which is a very weird way to do it. But the top guy that I want is a edge rusher. And I'm going to have to hope and assume that he is here, because he would be a game changer for this team. And somehow, some way, Trey Hendrickson got re-signed. That's disappointing. I'll be real with you. That is very disappointing to see that Trey Hendrickson is not here. I thought for sure that he would end up being a free agency guy for us that we could bring in. So we're going to now pivot here to a different plan. to see what some of the top paid guys last year for edge position are, and we'll try to find them on this list, as Trey Hendrickson does not want, I don't know. That's weird to me. Trey Hendrickson for sure is testing free agency in real life. Some of the other guys that we could go for here, Khalil Mack set to be a free agent, not on here either. We have Hassan Reddick. Would love to bring in a Hassan Reddick to just really stick it to some rivals in our division and bring in, a guy that's terrified us. Nolan threw it in the chat saying Trey Hendrickson retires to do a podcast. Honestly, at this point, the way the Bengals are treating him, I wouldn't blame him. I scrolled past H-I-J-K. Have I scrolled past it? No, we also don't have Hassan Reddick. Everyone is re-signing their guys here on the edge rush position. This is crazy to me. Joey Bosa from Buffalo. Not even like I really want him that much, but is he at least here? Dude, can we at least get Joey Bosa? It doesn't look like it. It does not look like we're getting Joey Bosa. This is... Okay, maybe we were not meant to have a new edge rusher coming in. This is crazy to me that we are not able to get anyone here. Scrolled a little too far there. Yurtur Kroos Matos. Former Panther. One of the few guys on this list that I'm actually finding is actually worthy. And yeah, the sim is definitely not nice to me here. If we're not doing Yatur Gross Matos, I will look at the direction of a Leonard Floyd. So Leonard Floyd will start by offering in his last season. He was making $10 million per contract. He is, of course, going to be 33 years old. So we're going to offer him $9 million over 2 years, and he will take it. Welcome to the team, former Atlanta Falcon, Leonard Floyd. And that's one of the big reasons we want to try to cripple our division rivals as much as possible. There's no Hassan Reddick, so we're going to get Leonard Floyd. Now, looking at the linebacker position. Now, in my opinion, this is far and away, hands down, the most important position we have to fill. And there's a couple guys that I really, really like here. Honestly, with $30 million in cap, we might go crazy. One of the big ones that I'm seeing in real life for the Panthers to do is to pick up a guy like Leo Chanel, who, that would be pretty sweet. I would love to bring in a guy like Leo Chanel. The contract that I had cooked up for him, a little $15 million, $5 million, 3 years. Welcome aboard, Leo Chanel. And there's another guy that I really want. This would be a complete revamp of this linebacker room. We still have $24 million to throw around. And if he is here, we're signing him. But he is not. According to SportRack, Alex Anzalone is going to be a free agent coming up, but it looks like he was re-signed in this universe. So, unfortunately, we're not going to be getting our Anzalone. And then we see Dave in the chat there saying, Leo ain't going anywhere. He's coming to Carolina. He's coming to the Panthers. You know he's coming home. He wants to play for a winning team, and so he's going to come over to Carolina instead of that trash organization over in Kansas City. Now in Kansas City State or Missouri still? I don't know. You guys are a joke. Not talking like they haven't won all of the rings and been the best team ever. No. Any other guy that we're looking to get here would be maybe a guy like Ellis. I think it's Caden Ellis, if I'm not mistaken. Would be awesome to bring in a guy like that. Again, trying to cripple the Falcons as much as possible. Now, Caden Ellis on his last contract was making $7 million. Of course, he is going to be 30 years old. I would love to give him a 3-year deal, but he does not want to take it. I'm going to try again, of course. And then still in Missouri until 2031. Thank you, Nolan. We love our fact checkers around here. People smarter than I make the world go round. We're going back over to Caden Ellis. I'm really trying to cripple the Falcons here. That's hey, the Falcons suck anyways. Like, they're pretty trash. But if I can make them even more trash, we're laughing. And he will take 2 years, $8 million per. We still have $16 million to bring in a star. And I tell you, star safety for this team. I mean, we need a star safety. Nick Scott was trash all year. Just one of those garbage trash bag safeties. One of those guys that you look at the Rams game and why that failed for us. You look at the Saints game, why that failed. It comes down to one man in my mind. And so that's going to be trash bag Nick Scott. We're getting him out of here. There's a couple of names on the safety division. The safeties that I like. Kevin Byard is a guy that I like a lot from the Bears. He is 32 years old, so he's one of those guys that we could probably bring in a little younger. Let's go here. Kevin, he might have been re-signed. He was re-signed in this universe, so we're not going to be getting Byard in this one, unfortunately, guys. But we can pivot here and see if Reed Blankenship was left in free agency. Talk about guys that you would love to have. A 26 years old, a Super Bowl winner in his last contract, $3.5 million. We're going to give him that full $5 million. Whoa, he doesn't want it. He wants a little bit more. And, we have the money to spend, so we're going to go do that for a little Reed Blankenship. We could bring in Shiloh Sanders just for the memes, but no, we'll bring in a real guy here because that's what we need. We'll go $6.7 million. I think that's something he would take. 6-7. All right. Now, the last thing that we need to bring in. I'm sorry I hit that so hard. That's horrible. The last things that we need to bring in, potentially another offensive tackle. That would be nice. Potentially another corner. But honestly, for the cornerbacks for this team, I love J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson. With Corey Thornton stepping up with Chauncey Wade and, of course, here Rochelle, who played a good amount last season. I kind of like this room. Maybe if we could bring in, I don't know, maybe an old guy that's good. Maybe, I don't even know. There's not really anyone I'm really looking for on the cornerback list here. That's why we're scrolling so slowly, because I'm just really looking for one name. Darius Slay. That's cool. He's here. He's going to get paid, you would think. I've heard of D. Alford before. Will he take that? No, he's probably one of the more rich guys. Honestly, we might just draft corner. I love our cornerback room personally. I don't get why it says that's the number one team need, but that's neither here nor there. So looking at the team, I love the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks look great. Running backs, we're going to draft a fourth one. Wide receiver, that was it. We have $9 million to spend here. Getting a top wide receiver would be sweet, but I highly doubt that. Looking at what some of the wide receivers were making last year, I mean, a guy that would be sweet to bring in, but we're definitely not going to be bringing in because he's going to get paid, is Juwan Jennings. What a perfect pair he and Tedrow McMillan would create, but we're not going to go with that. That's a little... I don't think it works the best. We're not bringing back Adam Thielen. That's burnt bridges. We all know that. Maybe a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson. I love the speed threat, and I love the youth that he brings. If not, it's going to be something else. So we're going to go actually Wan'Dale Robinson. See if he is available here. He is not. It looks like he got re-signed. Now, if he's not here, we're going to look for a guy like Treylon Burks. Tyreek Hill staring at me. Definitely thinking about it, but he's definitely not the guy. It's to say the least. I don't think there's going to be any Treylon Burks, so maybe we pivot over here to Tutu Atwell. He was making $10 million on his last contract. Will he take 8? He will. So that leaves us with $1.7 million. Do we bring in a tight end here? Nah. We're going to just pray for Sadiq to be available. And other than that, and Thielen did actually retire. Shout out Nolan in the chat. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about the guys that we've brought in. No long snapper. I don't really care. Again, Jansen should come in for less than $1 million. Kind of ridiculous that he's asking for more. I wonder how big's his contract in real life. Can I find that? Is it Jensen or is it Jansen? Just trying to find his contract information. Yeah, so Jansen, he's 40 years old, much like Thielen. He's probably going to retire. And, that's surprising. He makes $1.2 million. Maybe I was disrespecting you. We're just going to go into the year without a long snapper. Same with a fullback. Don't really care about fullback. And then, of course, we got Fitzgerald. Maybe I draft a punter. Or, let's look here. What are we looking at punter-wise? There's Matt, this guy I've heard of. Again, these are punters. Take heard of and whatnot with a grain of salt. Of course, I would love to bring back Sam Martin, but Sam Martin does not want to come back for cheap. He understands. I'm a good punter in this league, and I deserve to get paid. And hey, good for you, Sam Martin. I can attest by watching him punt pretty regularly that he was pretty good. So we're not bringing back Sam Martin. Maybe we just draft a guy. Yeah, we'll just draft a guy. And that's going to be it for free agency. We're going to bring in Leonard Floyd, Caden Ellis, Tutu Atwell, Leo Chanel, and Reed Blankenship. Really just trying to cripple Atlanta as much as possible. Now, moving on to the NFL draft. We're getting right into it as it gets prepared. I'm so excited. It's pretty quick, so here we go. Mendoza was drafted first, so we got a pretty good one on our hands here. Mendoza first, Ruben Bain second, Carnell Tate third, Arvell Reese fourth. So that leaves us with pick 19, and that leaves us with Kenyon Sadiq. I'm not even going to look at the other names. Why bother? It's Kenyon Sadiq. We're taking him 10 times out of 10. That is the franchise savior. Franchise savior right there, Kenyon Sadiq. He's going to become Bryce Young's number 2 guy, only to Tedero McMillan. We really like Kenyon Sadiq around here. Now, because I drafted so many defensive options and went to free agency, got so many different free agents, this leaves me in a great spot to either go cornerback here, get one of these top guys like a Julian Neal, 6'2", 200. We can maybe get a guy like Will Lee, 6'2", 190. But I think that we are going to go potentially here, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, 6'3", 209. Again, we're in such a good spot. I love this roster after that free agency we had. And here, actually, we're going to go cornerback. Julian Neal out of Arkansas. As much as I want to get Nick McNeil-Warren, we're going with it. Knowing how we like to do our defenses, having another really good cornerback will be good. We're not going to be doing any trades in this one. Now, moving on, a young linebacker still on in these first 3 rounds. So big. Really should. Nolan Thode, big Tommy Tremble fan in the chat right there. He should have been. What should have been, man? Mr. Spams the hurdle button. Now, looking at Torian York from the Aggies, Texas A&M, would be pretty nice. Green dot play calling linebacker. I'm also looking at a guy like Tad Hurst, big body guy. Would be sweet to bring in a guy like Tad Hurst. But, thinking about the team, thinking about what we got here, let's go defense again. And we're going to get that York out of Texas A&M. We're going linebacker. I think this team needs better defensive talents overall. I think Bryce Young can make it work with, we've seen him make it work with some rather trash wide receivers. Continuing on here, it says the biggest needs are edge, safety, corner, offensive tackle, and tight end. That's not super wrong, actually. And in a round like this is where you maybe want to find a guy that could be boom or bust to replace Josh Nijman if he's playing like trash. You don't want to have to rely on a guy like Feome out of Wake Forest, stays in the area, but it might be what you have to do. You also got Jude Bowery here, an offensive tackle out of Boston College. Big boy. But it looks like this is going to be my guy, 6'5", 314. We really need that extra help. Rest up, Ike Okongwu. We're just going to hope for the best there. Now, we do only have 3 more picks left in this one. We've gone offensive tackle, tight end, and then 2 defensive guys. Leaves us pretty open here for a wide receiver. Try to get a boom or bust late guy. Now, a write-up is done about Baylor wide receiver Josh Cameron. You always like to see that. A 754 10 touchdown season. It would be pretty nice. Again, 6'1" guy. A great impact score on this website. It's wide receiver impact score. Again, this would be very good. But a late breakout, non-efficient numbers, or non-elite efficiency, excuse me. He reminds me a lot of a guy like Jalen Coker. We got Romello Brinson. He doesn't have a write-up, so I'm most likely going to stay away from him. You want to go with the top guys, and top guy available. We're going Josh Cameron. Now, 2 more picks. What do we need on this team? A young edge rusher and a young... You know what we're going to do? We're going to go running back here, rounding it off. Maybe this guy out of Alabama. Although, not good. Not a good write-up for him. That's painting him in a horrible, horrible light, y'all. I do really like Noah Whittington. He doesn't have a write-up, but I've looked into him before. It's not so much of an overdraft. It's a little bit of an overdraft. At 198, we're going to go this guy out of Alabama. Of course, he is running back number 4 in a very deep room, so it's less likely that he's going to, really matter at the end of the day. But come on in. Come to Carolina. And for our last pick of the draft, we didn't get one in free agency because they were a little too expensive. So how about we get one for cheap? Come on down, Jack Stonehouse. You got a cool name. We're going to draft you. And that is going to do it for the draft, as I'm excited to see what the simulation has for us. Shout out Jack Stonehouse. As here we go. It all comes down to this, the simulation. Please, football gods, make us good. We're going to do all of the games, and me and you are going to sit here. We're going to talk about how excited we are for this next Panther year. Chuba Hubbard should be the lead back again. I'm wearing the jersey. The Rico Dowdle experiment, tons of fun until it wasn't. I think the guy's a nutcase. Maybe not a nutcase, but he's definitely he's a team player, yes, but he loved to complain, so whatever. It's Chuba Hubbard season all the way, and we have made it to the playoffs, and sadly, we did not make the playoffs. But we had a 9-8 record. Excuse me for yelling. We would have a 9-8 record, so looking at the standings here, the NFC South, we would lose out to Tampa Bay. Boo! Boo! We had a negative 13-point differential. We've come to know that for our Panthers. But yeah, unfortunately, we went 5-1 in the division. Saints went 1-16. Sorry, Austin. But only 6-5 in the conference. I'll take a 9-8 season again. I want more wins personally, but c'est la vie. Here we are. It looks like actually we are the second team out of the playoffs, so just make it even more sad. So we'll simulate these playoffs. We'll see who wins it. Looks like it's going to be not realistic. So that's it. The final results are in. The predicted performance. No, that's not us. Here we go. The predicted performance based on my moves would be 9-8. We'd be second in the division. Dan Morgan has a tall task ahead of him, a loaded plate. In this prediction software, it said we were going to beat the Falcons, beat the Vikings, lose to the Bengals, Eagles, Packers, beat Tampa, lose to the Ravens. Another 3-game losing streak. After we beat the Saints, we would lose to the Seahawks, Bucks, and then the Lions. And then a 4-game win streak over Seattle, over the Steelers, over the Broncos, over the Browns, and the Falcons. Lose to the Bears, and then beat the Falcons, but eventually lose out on the playoffs. This was a really fun time, really fun experiment. The Panthers could do so much this offseason. I can't wait to see how it goes. That's going to do it for me, though, today. Whether you're watching this live, thank you so much, or you're watching as a video, keep watching CollingsThodeNetwork. Hit the subscribe button down below. Peace.